suddenly, Justin files his countersuit, and there's major backlash against her for having supported Blake but not having said anything about Justin on January 21st. And she has now just reemerged, and she's cleaned out her Instagram page. She has, without question, deleted 5.
In a striking juxtaposition of Hollywood glamour and small-town charm, actress Blake Lively made headlines this week with an impromptu appearance at Rise Doughnuts in Wilton, Connecticut. The Gossip Girl alum and fashion icon traded designer gowns for a flour-dusted apron, delighting unsuspecting patrons and staff alike as she stepped behind the counter to try her hand at the art of donut making. This heartwarming detour comes at a particularly tumultuous time for Lively, as she navigates an increasingly complex legal battle surrounding her latest film project, a dispute that now threatens the financial security of best-selling author Colleen Hoover. Lively's arrival at Rise Doughnuts wasn't announced or publicized beforehand, making her presence all the more surprising for regular customers. The shop, known for its artisanal approach and community focus, became an unexpected hotspot when the A-list celebrity walked through its doors. According to shop owner Lisa Wicker, Lively's connection to the establishment predates her fame. Blake has been stopping by since before she was a household name, Wicker revealed. She's always loved our signature maple bacon donuts, and she mentioned wanting to learn how we make them. When she called and asked if she could spend a day in the kitchen, I honestly thought she was joking. But the star was serious about her donut education. Dressed in jeans and a casual sweater with her trademark blonde hair pulled back, Lively arrived early Tuesday morning ready to work. She didn't just observe, she participated fully in the day's operations, from mixing batter to decorating finished products. Staff described her as attentive and genuinely interested in the process, asking questions about techniques and offering to help wherever needed. She was so down-to-earth, said bakery assistant Taryn Gwynn. She kept apologizing when she messed up the frosting on a batch, but honestly, her donuts looked better than some of mine on my first day. Customers who happened to visit the shop that day were treated to more than just exceptional pastries. Many described doing double takes upon seeing the recognizable star working behind the counter. Lively took the attention in stride, pausing to chat with patrons and taking photos with those who asked. She showed particular warmth toward younger visitors, kneeling down to their level and asking about their favorite donut flavors. "My daughter is obsessed with princesses and immediately thought Blake was a real-life princess," said local mother Jennifer Abrams. Blake played along, asking if my daughter would like to try a magic sprinkle donut. "It was such a special moment. She didn't have to be that kind, but she went above and beyond." Lively later shared several photos from her day at Rise on her Instagram, calling the experience flower therapy and thanking the staff for letting me live my sweetest dreams for a day. She highlighted several of the shop's specialties and encouraged her followers to support small businesses. The post garnered millions of likes within hours, bringing unexpected attention to the Connecticut establishment. "Our phone has been ringing non-stop," Wicker said with a laugh. "We've had people driving in from 3 states away hoping she might come back. I keep telling them she was just here for the day, but they buy donuts anyway, so I can't complain." The light-hearted donut shop adventure stands in sharp contrast to the serious legal entanglements currently dominating Lively's professional life. The actress has been embroiled in an increasingly bitter dispute with actor and director Justin Baldoni regarding their film adaptation of Colleen Hoover's best-selling novel, It Ends With Us. What began as reported creative differences during production has evolved into a complex legal battle involving multiple parties. According to court documents filed last month, Baldoni's production company, Wayfarer Studios, accused Lively of breaching contractual obligations by undermining promotional efforts for the film. Lively's legal team countered with allegations that Baldoni created a hostile work environment and deviated significantly from agreed-upon creative decisions without consultation. Industry insiders familiar with the production describe a set divided by competing visions. "There were essentially 2 different movies being made," said one crew member who requested anonymity. Blake saw this as a nuanced story about a woman's journey to self-empowerment, while Justin was focused on the romance angle. The tension was palpable from day one of shooting. The dispute escalated when Lively and Baldoni appeared to avoid each other during early promotional events, with fans noting their limited interactions and separate interview schedules. Social media speculation reached a fever pitch when both parties began making veiled comments that seemed directed at the other, though neither explicitly addressed the situation. Legal experts monitoring the case note its unusual complexity. "What we're seeing here goes beyond typical Hollywood contract disputes," explained entertainment attorney Raquel Davidson. The involvement of multiple production entities, distribution partners, and now the original intellectual property creator makes this a particularly thorny case. When adaptation rights and creative control intersect with personal conflicts, the legal questions multiply exponentially. The most recent development, and perhaps the most alarming, came from Colleen Hoover herself. The phenomenally successful author, whose books have dominated bestseller lists for the past 3 years, stunned fans with a candid social media post revealing the potential financial devastation the legal battle could cause her. "I never imagined that seeing my work on screen could come at such a cost," Hoover wrote in a lengthy statement. "The ongoing litigation threatens to consume not just the film's profits but potentially years of my publishing earnings as well. My team advised against sharing this publicly, but I believe my readers deserve transparency." According to sources close to Hoover, her contract included clauses that make her financially liable for certain disputes arising from the adaptation process. While standard in the industry, these provisions rarely come into play with such significant consequences. Literary agent Marcus Chen, who does not represent Hoover but has negotiated similar deals, explained the unusual situation. "Authors typically have limited control once adaptation rights are sold, but they can also have limited liability," Chen said. What's happening with Hoover appears to be an exceptional case where overlapping contracts created a perfect storm of financial exposure. It's the kind of scenario that keeps agents up at night. Hoover's revelation has sparked outrage among her dedicated fanbase, many of whom have launched social media campaigns supporting the author and calling for resolution of the dispute. The hashtag #ProtectColleen trended briefly last week, with readers sharing how Hoover's books impacted their lives and urging all parties to consider the broader consequences of their legal actions. Despite mounting public interest and the significant stakes for all involved, the legal proceedings remain at an impasse. The most recent court session ended without the anticipated rulings on several key motions, leaving all parties in continued uncertainty. Judge Eleanor Simmons, who is presiding over the case, has ordered an unusual mediation process before proceeding further. The court recognizes the complex nature of this dispute and the potential for irreparable harm to multiple careers and creative works, her written order stated. Before entertaining further motions, all principal parties will participate in court-appointed mediation to explore resolution possibilities. Legal observers note the rarity of such an intervention at this stage of proceedings. Judge Simmons is essentially saying that this case has become too destructive to allow it to proceed on its normal course, said judicial analyst Peter Faraday. It's an acknowledgement that the legal system itself might cause more harm than good if this continues unabated. Whether the mediation will succeed remains to be seen. Sources close to both Lively and Baldoni indicate entrenched positions, with neither side showing inclination to compromise. The film's distribution plans remain in limbo, with early test screenings reportedly cancelled and marketing materials pulled from circulation pending resolution. Against this backdrop of legal turmoil, Lively's Doughnut shop appearance takes on additional significance. Friends of the actress suggest it represents a deliberate choice to maintain normalcy amid chaos. "Blake has always been incredibly disciplined about compartmentalizing," said one longtime associate. "She doesn't let professional challenges bleed into her personal life if she can help it." The Doughnut shop day was as much for her mental health as it was for fun. This ability to separate public persona from private struggles has defined Lively's career since her breakthrough role on Gossip Girl. Unlike many of her peers, she has largely avoided the tabloid controversies that often accompany fame, maintaining a carefully curated public image that balances glamour with relatability. Her marriage to actor Ryan Reynolds, with whom she shares 4 children, exemplifies this approach, highly visible yet selectively private. Image consultant Veronica Torres points to Lively's Doughnut shop visit as a masterclass in reputation management during crisis. "There's genuine authenticity in the activity itself. She's long expressed interest in cooking and baking, but the timing cannot be coincidental," Torres observed. "It presents a powerful counter-narrative. While lawyers argue in courtrooms, she's creating joy in a community setting. It's difficult to view someone making donuts with children as the villain in any story." As the legal situation continues to evolve, the futures of all primary parties remain uncertain. For Lively, whose careful career choices have built a brand extending beyond acting into entrepreneurship and fashion, the dispute represents her first major professional setback. Industry analysts question whether the controversy will impact her carefully cultivated image or her ability to secure similar leading roles in the future. For Baldoni, who transitioned from acting to directing with personal projects reflecting his social activism, The conflict potentially undermines the thoughtful filmmaker persona he has developed. His previous directorial efforts received praise for their sensitivity to complex issues, a reputation now complicated by the current allegations. And for Hoover, the situation threatens more than reputation. As one of publishing's biggest success stories of the past decade, with a devoted readership and multiple books in development for screen adaptation, the financial implications could alter the trajectory of her career and limit her creative options going forward. The film itself, once anticipated as a faithful adaptation of a beloved novel, now faces an uncertain release schedule and potential audience reception colored by the public dispute. Early footage reportedly tested well with focus groups, but whether the final product will ever reach theaters in its intended form remains an open question. In the meantime, the residents of Wilton, Connecticut, are left with unexpected memories of the day Hollywood royalty came to make donuts. For many, the experience transcended celebrity encounter to become something more meaningful. "My teenage daughter has been going through a really tough time with anxiety," said customer Rebecca Fielding. "Seeing her smile and laugh while Blake helped her decorate a donut was the first genuine joy I've seen from her in months. Whatever's happening with movies and lawsuits doesn't change what that moment meant to us." Perhaps therein lies the most poignant aspect of this unfolding story. Amid high-stakes legal maneuvers and careers hanging in the balance, a simple day of baking created moments of authentic connection. Whether calculated public relations move or genuine escape, Lively's donut shop surprise reminds us that sometimes the smallest gestures leave the most lasting impressions. As the legal battle continues behind closed doors and Hoover confronts potential financial ruin, the image of Lively, flower-dusted and smiling alongside everyday people, offers a compelling counterpoint to the otherwise grim narrative. It's a reminder that even within the most complex stories, there's room for unexpected sweetness.